Let us reason.
To me, O Yah. Deliver me speedily. Be thou my strong rock, for a house of defense. To Yah shake me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for your name's sake, lead me and guide me. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We told you, precious YHWH. As we have slept last night, resting, knowing of YHWH. That you'll breathe the breath to wake us up once again, YHWH. YHWH, we told you, YHWH, for keeping us from day to day. Told you for being that special king that we serve, Abba Yahweh. Continue showing us that greater harbor that you have toward us, Abba Yahweh. Let us know that everything is going to be all right, Abba Yahweh. No matter what may come our way, no matter what trials we may have to go through, Abba Yahweh. No matter what other many tears that we may share, Abba Yahweh. But we know our comfort is in you, Abba Yahweh. But we know, Abba Yahweh, only you can take us on this journey, Abba Yahweh. This short journey that we on, Abba Yahweh. Abba Yahweh, you have your people in your hand, Abba Yahweh. For you are the one, Abba Yahweh, that the battle that we have to fight, Abba Yahweh. You are a great warrior. We don't have to worry, Abba Yahweh. Because everything is going to be all right, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the mouth of Yahweh and YHWH Kadosh in your mighty Hashem, your Rakut to come, your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, and in the Hashemayim. Give us this day our daily lesson. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debt, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Rakut, the power, and the honor. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious and mighty name of Yeshua, HaMashiach, your Malak. Feed us the lesson, the bread of life this day, Abba Yahweh. For you know what we have need of before we even ask, Abba Yahweh. Feed us the understanding your meant your Torah this day, Abba Yahweh. In the precious and mighty name of Yeshua, HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah, Yahweh. For this is your Yom, Abba Yahweh, and we have gathered that we may bring a volume of praise and Torah to your Kodesh name. We have done wonderful things for YisraYah'ale. So we exalt you, we lift you up in Yeshua HaMashiach.
There is nothing I can do without Yeshua on my side. There is nothing I can do without Yeshua on my side. There is nothing I can do without Yeshua on my side. Hallelujah, Yeshua. There is nothing I can do without Yeshua on my side. There is nothing I can do without Yeshua on my side. There is nothing I can do without Yeshua on my side. Hallelujah, for Yeshua. He has shed precious blood for us. Precious blood.
have our being. Come on, can't go around.
Cannot go around the Torah of Yah. Cannot go around the Torah of Yah. You cannot go around the
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We're seeing of his love.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We're gonna praise Yahweh, YisraYah.
Greetings to the nation of YHWH, YisraYah'ale scattered throughout the four corners of the world.
Hallelujah.
I say to you all, there is no reason to be dismayed.
Hallelujah.
The problems of this life have succumbed you. The heart is not excited about Yah's truth. I want to read this as I was standing here. Joel spoke unto the scattered there at Ephesus. And he says, you must speak to yourself in song. Shiram of Yah, you must speak to yourself in that fashion. You must sing the songs that generate this great affection for Yah. You must sing them. They must be spiritual songs. Spiritual songs. Singing and making melody unto Yah from your bosom, from your heart to Almighty Yahweh. Then you must give total always, always, for all things unto Yah your Abba. In the name of YHWH, so you that are dismayed today or dismayed, just began to sing the songs of delight. The songs that singers here at Yeshua, that make you cry and rejoice, that make you happy. And so just began to sing those songs. We're going to have battles, they are real. And I would be facilitating one of the most fabricated lives upon the face of the earth. If I tell you there are not going to be great agonies, trials, battles, and you don't even know how to contend with. But as the old ones will lay down the line, just trust. Walk back. Have great confidence in Him. Because in our own ability there is nothing we can do to resolve, to rectify, in anything straight at all. So we know that He is unchangeable. So we're going to trust in that hand. That is the most important hand to trust in, despite every circumstance. So you lift your head and your voice this. You have made here this. You have brought yourself to our God. He has brought you to another season to be alive. And I thank Him for that. And so I want to learn everything that He commands me to do, His instructions. My instructions are full of deceit and lies. They are corrupt. Anything that generates from our own conscience of mind that I believe that is right is evil. We must base all things in the foundation and the principle of Torah. Everything. Everything, YisraYah'ale, cannot be some kind of philosophy that has been generated by an emotion, a feeling, an attachment, or anything. We must be real. And it has to be real. And that is the only way. So we greet you all again, my friend. Let me say to you all that engage in the newsletter, I know how I do things, and I say that a 3-4 part series, and there are things that y'all just inject in my heart by studying and reading the Torah that I have to alter things for this day. I have to at times, and many times, and most of the times I do, because of the volume of teachings that I have prepared over the many years. The one that I prepared this morning, and it's a consistent, constant. Yah doesn't speak to me like He does in this verbal form, as He does to others. But everything that I teach from is the verbal remembrance of what is spoken in the book. So I don't listen for a sound or a voice. I listen to the word that over all these 40-some years, plus years, I have labored and studied this book. That those are the words that speak to me. They may speak to me by volume 2 or 3. They speak to me in one katuv. But that is how I preach. And so I want to teach today because It is amazing that how we have this. Turn that one off for me. I'm all right. If you get cold, let me know now. Just raise your hand. We'll turn them off. I don't want you all getting cold, all right? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And we find the proliferation of all kinds of lies, the YouTubes, the Christian channels, and all kinds of sources, that there is such a great influx of misinformed information. And unless you have the mind of Yahshua, it will take you for a dive. They are very dramatic. They put up videos that seem so real, but they are not real. They are concepts that philosophize a portion or an aspect of Torah to gain those that they know they are gullible and ignorant as I am. And so they mesmerize them and they draw them into a delusion of hell. I want to say this to us all today. I want to define a few words. There is no sign that's going to be given.
Hallelujah.
None. I don't care if your videos, you see buildings sink down into a sinkhole. You call that a sign of the time. I call that faulty engineering. Someone did not study the construct of the subsoils of the concrete that they were using. It takes a different volume and different ingredients that develop the strength as the years even proceed. I call that faulty engineering. The massive winds blow and the storms overwhelm. Well, I call that living too close to the coastline. Great boulders falling from the mountaintop and crushing and killing people. Well, I call that just the act of Yah's hand, that there is a disintegration or a process that it loses its attachment, that it just falls. And so they're taking events of such. I heard one say that 2020 will be the year that they are driven to put the chip. These are fools. They are stupid fools. But they are hundreds of millions by what they say, because they are fools. No sign is going to be given. Let's authoritatively prove no sign given. Do not even listen again. I want to begin, let me begin here with the words no. And the word no in the language of Abraham, lo, L-O-O-L-O-W, means absolutely. There is no alternative. No means never, it cannot be. There is nothing that can displace the no. There is no possibility. There is no chance. There is no thought of it. And to give us a great understanding of this word, in the Greek it is pronunciated udes. 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 I want to read one verse. And you tell me if this word "in-o" is applicable in an absolute statement from God. It is found in Revelation, Giliana, as the Melech of the assembly of Pergamos, as he spoke by the voice and the mouth of Yahshua. Revelation chapter 2, one verse, verse 17. Yah commands us, he that has an ear, let him shemach, let him hear what Haruach, what the Spirit of Yah speaks unto us, what he says unto the gathering of the congregants, those that are in the congregation. He extols us to overcome, to him that overcome. I will allow you to eat the hidden manna or the mysteries of Torah that many could never comprehend. They will be those that are the consumer of the reward of what they have laid down to gain that status with Yah. He says, I will give him a white stone. I will give him a stone that is Laban. It is clean. There is nothing that has tainted it. No other hand has touched it but the hand of Yah. And in the stone, he says it is a new, not a renewed, but this is a new name written, which know who it is, which know not even, cannot happen, it will never happen, that no man knows, saving he that receiveth. So if the word utes, no, is utilized here, when Yah says no, it means no. He clarifies it to the point that we should always let our answer or our yea be yes, and our no be no. Anything else is evil. So if he is not absolute in his enunciation and what he expressed on the formula of that, then he is not even worth the words we read. So there is utes, no man is going to know that name. Only you going to declare that name that Yah has named us by the approval of YHWH HaMashiach. And the reason I say that, because it shall be written. He is the living word that has been written and made alive. That's what he is, nation. And when Yah says no man, utes, not even, never can be, there is no possibility. And if he says there shall be no no sign, he means what he says. There's a way that we that have been justified by the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, there's only one way we live. We live by Emunah. We believe and we trust. We must believe. Yes. We must believe. So if no is no, no is no. There's no possibility that there is an alteration. You can sow a seam on this side and that side, close up its capacity, that we become ignorant. And that when Yah says no, he means yes. When he says yes, he means no. You can deceive yourself in that form of ignorance. But when Yah says no, he means what he says. He means exactly what he says. We can see nation from the great beginning. That all the great miracles, the oath that Yah has granted unto us, it has not made us believe. It's a great thing for us to arise this morning and to get up. I'm glad that he awakened me. I want to establish a pattern here. There will be no sign given nation, none whatsoever. To that degree, there is no sign given to you if you just die. He takes you out. There folks had no idea that they were dying, and they died. A friend that laid back that night that lived on the other side here, It was a massive heart attack.
Yes.
And when I saw him, I knew what it was. I sat down on the bed beside him, and I looked. I examined him. I did not move his body or anything. He didn't have no idea that he was about to die. And he died. So you don't know. That's why we must always be prepared. Let us examine this with Yah when he grants Moshe a power that supersedes everything in YisraYah'ale, in Exodus. We must understand that we are part of this generation.
Yes.
The moment that Adam and Chava defied Yah, there was the nature of Nachash, this serpent, evil spirit, in every door from the corridors of darkness began to present ideas here in their thoughts. Those that oppose Yah, those that had been cast out of the beauty of the volume of the Shemaiah, they began to speak and they taught things. But let us examine this in chapter 4, verse 8, quickly. Yah says to him, and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe you, we must believe. We must walk down. We must have confidence in what is written, what has been said. And if a man has a mastery to understand a certain level of depth, you need to hear that. That it refines you and reinforces the very nature of YHWH HaMashiach. He said, neither if they will shilach, they will listen to the voice of the first sign. And that's what they did. We will not listen to the voice of the first sign. He gave us a sign so magnificent, I don't need nothing else. YHWH HaMashiach is the perfect sign of Torah. Every statute, every government of Yah, he is. He has given us a sign. He said, if they will not listen to the first sign, if they will not listen to the first sign, if they will believe the voice of the latter sign, if they do not hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. If we can't believe that YHWH came in a way that is beyond the ability for man to even visualize or think, what makes us think that we're going to fear Yah when he shows us a latter sign, what shall be? We have been reminded over the years we have come out of YisraYah'ale, but we have allowed that ingredient of her, that Nachash, to remain in our minds and to develop us. If nothing else, the could say, he will remind us of that. We have come out, but we remain in that kitchen eating the same things of our raw flesh, how we compromise and do every kind of vile thing against Yah. So we can't believe the sign of YHWH. What makes you think you're going to believe if they send spaceships? That is so asinine and so crazy. It has been 400 years, that identify with the essence of the Hebrew Israelites, that the bondage of those that have been here, it is 400 years. The completion will be next year at Pesach in March. That's a fact. So if we cannot accept the sign, we don't even go back to Moshe. Let us deal with that sign that you believed. You heard the power of that name in all of your ignorance. It was your sin nature that was convinced. How, if we cannot believe YHWH, how are we going to believe the latter sign that shall come? That's what he said to Moshe. Those of YisraYah'ale, they can't believe what I've done and see the ferociousness of the fierceness of my nature. What makes you think they're going to believe the latter sign? We're not going to believe nations. He can show us sign after sign, and we will say, show us another one. Oh, I believe you, but just one more. It is proven through Torah.
Yes.
He says that it shall come to pass, if they will believe, not believe, not believe, not believe, also these two signs, neither hearken to your voice, that you shall take from the waters of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the Mayan which you take out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. They still did not believe. We will not believe, and it will come to its conclusion at death. Just like with Pharaoh, they did not believe. It was the death of the firstborn. When he saw the hand of Yah, and when he began to consciously think on that, he said, kill all the dogs. Go after them. They still did not believe. Nor did the children of YisraYah'ale. They went out into the wilderness and said, give us our own damn God. Damn the one that brought us out. You can be all homogenized with your language, but I speak the truth.
Hallelujah.
You can kind of speak in a way that is acceptable to all. I don't care who accepts the truth of Yah. If that doesn't transform them, I don't care what kind of kindness you got. Is that going to make them change? I don't care how much you talk. It's not going to make them hear. When the Most High spoke to a nation of people, even his own children did not believe. There is no sign. You can buy the chip sign. Even the logistic of it is so stupid. How do you do it? If you believe it's the chip, tell me how. They're stupid. I don't apologize to anyone. He has given us two great. The words gadol. It is beyond magnificent. It is beyond us to conceptualize how great it is. And the Torah talks about two great signs. Just two. Not 3, 10, or 50. Just two. And we're not even convinced by that. Can I show you those two great signs? You that have scholarship, if you can find any other, call me. Because I know you cannot find nothing but what I show you here today. I want to read this quickly. Yeah. He granted Moshe the writings of Jubilees. Jubilees. Here in Jubilees chapter 2. Jubilees chapter 2. I want to show you the only two great signs that he has given us. If they don't believe the first one, and if they don't believe the second one, I will show you two great signs. 1 and 2. If we don't believe these great signs, how are you going to believe a sign that if you see the heavens open, you're going to run and scurry and defy even the messenger? I want to show you the great signs. Jubilees chapter 2, verse 9. In Almighty Yahweh, He appointed the sun, to be a great gadol. The magnitude of his beauty and strength is beyond any form of expression of superlatives. You can't give the magnitude with words of the strength of the sun. He appointed the sun to be a great sign. That's why it's beautiful to look up and see the beauty of the sun when it's reached its zenith. There's nothing greater than the sun. He appointed it to be a gadol. The value of it is so important in its magnitude, the multitude, its strength. Sign for on the earth. For what? That it correlate the lunar days for the days and for the Shabbats. He gave that great sign to govern over the other great thing. He said for the Shabbat, for the months, for the Moedim, and for the years, and for the Shabbat of years, and for the Jubilees, and all the seasons of the year. And it governs so beautifully.
Yeah.
The winter, the sun goes that way. The summer, it goes that way. The spring is headed this way. The fall is headed that way. The summer is headed that way. How do you know? Well, all these years I've been here, I've studied the sun. I will look and see. I know exactly where it's going to be. I know where it's going to be in the month of September. I know how it's going to go overhead of. I know those things because I am one that observes with great observation. I will show us something that is equal in greatness. Can I show us who we believe? Look at the 17th verse of the same chapter. Jubilees 2, chapter 2 and verse 17. This is what God did. And he gave us a great sign. He gave us a great sign. He gave us a tremendous sign. The Shabbat day. This is what he gave us.
Hallelujah.
That's our great sign.
Yes.
That's the great sign for the end. The Shabbat day.
Yes.
YHWH, Shema. We must Shema. We must remember the Shabbat day to keep it set apart. When the heavens are turned, there is no moon. You got all these scatterbutters out here today. They know everything. They've learned everything from YouTube. They've learned everything from YouTube. Is that the principle of application through Torah? I had one to write after Shabbat last week and tell me, to convince me, that this star, or this is the star of Bethula. There is nowhere in Torah. I said to the person, send me the website. The person had taken the picture. Because I wanted to see the credence of the credibility. The Torah names the stars that have names. I have such volume of information on that the person doesn't even know. If I see the person, we will talk. There is no star named Bethula. No star. No pattern of stars. What we see today was nothing like it was in the day of Moshe. The heavens were lit because there was nothing to poison the elements. When Metan looked at the heavens, they were lit with stars. Lit. He did not give a few stars, he gave all the stars. And so this philosophy that they have picked out stars, because some shines brighter, scientists would tell you. Some are brighter, some are, even though they look side by side, some may be in a far distance than that one side by you. This is the way it formulates for these seasons. No, he gave us the sun.
Yeah.
He gave us the Shabbat, a great, there is nothing greater than the sign of the Shabbat. You got the lunars, you got the solars, you got those that began the Shabbat on the sighting of the moon. Some on the 8th, some on the 7th, some on the 14th day, some on the 15th. So when they write, I say, which one is right? I heard one man say that he waited for the moon and on the 8th day he began the Shabbat. There is nowhere in Torah, none of these theses that men are gravitating to teach that. There's nowhere in Torah. Your assumption is wrong. There's nothing like being presumptuous. It's an evil spirit. man, woman, child. There's nothing like being presumptuous. And you prove all things from the book. You don't prove anything by some scientist or some stars or where the moon is. You prove it by what Yah has commanded. There is no greater sign to us than the Shabbat, the Shabbatot. There's no greater sign. So he gave, and that is how it is expressed. He gave us a gadol, a great sign. He showed us what was great, the sign. He said, now the sign I will give you, it's beyond that. And he gave them a great sign, the Shabbat day, that we will work 6 days and keep Shabbat God, the Shabbat on the 7th day from all work. And that's what we must do. No buying, no selling, no frivolity, no folly. We can't do that on the Shabbat. You don't make provision for the flesh on the Shabbat. You can't do that, nation. He set it aside like no other day. It is a great sign. And this generation, the Jesus thumpers, and all of them would tell you there are going to be signs. But yet they don't even observe, they don't even try to keep or honor the Shabbatot. It's evil. He calls nothing else great but the great sign of the Shabbat and the great sign of the moon. These are the only two great signs. These are the only two great signs. Well, you must have found that on the internet. No. The internet cannot give you this kind of stuff. I found this from his hearts. The laboring and study of Torah. That's how I find all things. And that's just the truth. That's a fact. Hallelujah. Now Yahushua says this in Matithia. He had to correct. He had to reprove those that labored in the bed of Yah because they were self-righteous. That's what the Pharisees were. They were this religious body of arrogant men. Their lives were all displaced. They didn't love Yah because they would have known the sign of the coming of YHWH HaMashiach. They would have known that. And so he says to them in Matithia chapter 12, Matthew 12:38. It talks about there were certain of them. Everybody could not speak. Then certain of the scribes, the shafrim, those that were intelligent analyzers. And not only them were the Pushim or the Pharisees. They answered him. And they answered him in a fashion of their self-righteousness. They says to him, Rabbi, Master of the knowledge of Torah, we would love to see a Simeon, a sign. Something that is beyond our imagination. Something that cannot be grasped with the mind. Something that cannot be internalized and expressed with the verbiage of even men of our scholarship. That's what they were saying to him. Things that are beyond phenomenal, things that are beyond remarkable. Show us a sign. And they didn't realize what great sign they had before them. They said, show us a Simeon, something that's, that repudiates and refutes the natural course of things. Show me. Make some water, just build a pool right out there. That's what they were looking for. Yahushua answered. He answered them in verse 39. Yahushua answered and said to them, this is what I want to get to. He talks about a boneros, an evil. Let's not listen to me, nation. There is nothing like an evil man. In essence, it is the defiance of Yah with an arrogance expression. It is so evil that it will lash out at him. It will defy every rule of the Torah. It will desecrate it. It's an evil. They're so evil. I realize how pathetic they is. Evil.
Yes.
And then he talks about this generation that began with Adam and Chava. He says an evil and an adulterous generation. Why did he call it an adulterous generation? One that is unfaithful. And we can see in Torah, Nachash is not faithful. It is a spirit that is evil. It is a spirit that is evil. When Chava seduced her husband with lies, she brought forth an adulteress, that death and sin, that he would kill his own. You understand, nation? And so that's how this Nachash began its birth in us, by the evilness of them to defy. Well, what brought upon them when they defied Yah? When they told Yah, no, we rule our own destiny. We rule our own time. We rule who we are. That's what Nachash says.
Yeah.
That's what Nachash says. Rise up and be like him. Defy him. Eat now, and you will become a god. Yah is not a dirty damn god.
Hallelujah.
You all are dogs. He's not a god.
Hallelujah.
He is equal with nothing of his creation. There is nothing that is equal of the grounds of magnitude as Yah, not even the sun. Nothing.
Hallelujah.
When he made Yahushua, he was there in the beginning. He was the word that became. It was the word that introduced itself to us in flesh to show us the power of this living truth.
Yes.
And the Torah of Almighty Yah. That's what it was.
Yes.
He came forth like any man.
Yes.
He wasn't made.
Yeah.
He made man from the beginning. He came out of that.
Yeah.
But it is nothing like Nachash. Nachash the Pharisee. Show us a sign, if you will. Show us you're the master. That's what this generation is saying. These are the signs at the end. They are flat out dirty liars. They don't believe it. They're hoarding. They're trying to make themselves even the more comfortable. They're thinking about their retirement. They're putting back money for their children. These are the ones that say that they're Hebrew Israelites. These are those. And they're nothing but full of lies. They are corrupt and evil, as sure as the gates of hell are evil. That's what they are. They're trying to save their flesh, but no one is going to save your naked, nasty flesh. It's going to die. It's going to die. Show us a sign, Yahushua. Just give us one sign. Just give us one sign. Yahushua, this is an evil, an evil generation that is influenced by everything that is evil. And evil is the defiance of Torah, and an adulterous generation. They always seek, they're diligently trying to find something that they will prepare before they think it's the ultimate end. Can I say this to us all? Hear me. Death has no warning for one that age, or this age, or one that's in the womb, or one that's still sucked from the titty of their demon. You can play all you want to. You can think you're smarter than him, but you're not smarter than him.
Hallelujah.
You can believe you're wiser than him. You're not wiser than the Most High Yah.
Hallelujah.
Only that kind of a mind seeks after a sign. And he says there shall be, he used the same in, no man knows that name but him that has been given that stone. No man. So it's the same application. Listen, there will be no signs given. None whatsoever. Yah could turn the sky black, and everyone would fear and run. And he can leave it black that you can feel the blackness. That you can't see, and you freeze in place, and you sit on the ground just waiting because of fear. And as soon as the light shined, they would get up. They began to rail, and they would begin to drink, do all kinds of evil things. That's just the fact. That's just the fact. And he can drop it dark, so hoshach, that you can feel the darkness. You're so afraid, you can't sleep. You can't lie down. Yet as soon as he left the darkness, he brought darkness over Mitzrayim. And they wailed and they cried. And as soon as it was over, they went back to their sin. He brought the darkness of death and everything. You're not going to believe because of a sign. And that's a fact. And so they're generating this kind of euphoric among people. These are the signs. These are not the signs. No more than these damn dogs and devils are healing anyone. They're not healing anyone. From the Benny Hinn's, the TDJs. They got what the world called the best physicians. They got their own private physicians that will come and meet them in their homes. They got certain things in their homes to examine them and all of that. Believe me, nation. Just like Mr. Trump, he has to leave and go to Walter Reed Hospital. He got everything right at the White House until there's a thorough exam for him. They can operate on him right there in the White House. You understand? Yes. And that's a fact. There will be no sign. You all can fall for this seduction. I'm just raw and real. You're not going to love me. I'm not going to be loved by many. I understand that. I don't fret because of that. I don't fall down. I don't become intimidated and frightened because nobody wants to love me. That's all right. I'm not fearful of that at all. He said there will be no sign. Why? Because only evil people. Well, I went and he prayed for me and I was healed. That's a lie. There is not one bona fide healing today. There is not one organic healing today. Not one. Not one. Well, he was crippled. Now, he had something internal that you prayed for, and they said, oh, I'm so healed. Yes. That's a lie. They're not healed. Nobody saw that. Why not Benny Hinn pray for the cripple? Those that are deformed. They know that the game will be over with, and people run after these fools. They run after these fools. There's only one healing we need, our minds. For him we live, and for him we die. We have that kind of determination. Nothing else means anything. Whether you live or die. I know that this is healed. This is going to get fragile. It's going to fail. It's going to pass away. But as long as I can keep my mind stayed on him, and my mind refreshed by his truth, I'm all right. I'm happy. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Proceeding just a little farther, I want to show you all, listen, the state of an adulterous mind. Can I show us? I will show us in Jeremiah the prophet, in chapter 3, verse 6. And Yehuda, not only Yehuda, but YisraYah'ale, they were guilty of the same sin. Please hear me, nation. You will charge me of a sin, and you're just as guilty of the same sin as I am. I warn us against sin, so that we may throw it off with our effort, praying for each other and loving each other, to confide and denounce every kind of sin there is. Look at what the prophet says in Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 6 down to that verse. Yahweh said also to me, in the days of Yoshia, he was the one, the Torah, his name implied that Yah is the one that heals us. Yeshua is our healer. So in the days of Yeshua HaMashiach, he says, because he was a beautiful man, he restored the nation back. He ruled for 31 years. And he reconstituted the law of Yah with great revival. This bogus bull that these devils call revival, even those that have what we call the Moedim of Yah, they get together, get drunk, and they do every kind of foul, lewd thing there is. You're not coming here. I will die before. This is my girlfriend. No, you're not doing that here. No. You go sleep in the hotel. Or she goes. You're not going to be on these grounds together like that. So you all hear me? You don't bring your girlfriend here. You bring your wife. Or you and your husband. These dogs are corrupting people. Listen to what Jeremiah tells us about Yoshia. He had ruled. He was a Melech. Have you seen that which the backsliding, Meshubah, they are so backslidden, they are apostate. They don't believe Yah. They don't trust him. Yah's words are impactual. That's what we must understand what we read. Wisdom is principle in all thy getting. We must understand. We just can't read and get understanding. He says, have you seen this Jezebel, this Nachash, how backsliding YisraYah'ale has done? He identifies her. She has gone up upon every high mountain, under every green tree, and she has played the Zana. She has played the whore, the harlot. She has played the occult prostitute. And that's all that is. It is an occultic prostitution of your mind, that you lay with every lie, every unproven thing. You must prove all things by this. You can't twist the book. And you're not even seasoned enough to know when someone is twisting that on you. I pray that Yah kill me before I lead us with misguidance. What I preach about and the things I teach here all these years, it has dealt with no one but me, myself, and I. It's dealt with you individually. That's what it's dealt with. And you know it's the truth because it convinces you and convicts you. And it reveals what you really are. You're not the pristine thing you think you is. You're full of your own dung. That's what you're full of. She has gone up under every mountain, under every green tree, and she has played the zana. She has played the role of a prostitute, an occultic. She has played in the fantasies of her evil ways and a wicked mind. Let's get our minds clean, YisraYah'ale. You don't let nothing like that ponder in your mind for seconds beyond the second. You rebuke into the minutes, into tens of minutes in the day, and every day it's constant on you. That's evil.
Yes.
That's evil.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. She has played the harlot. Then he says in verse 7, and I said after she had done all these things, I want you to make teshuvah, repent to me. Change your ways. Repentance or teshuvah is more than saying that I'm sorry. Your actions prove.
Hallelujah.
A husband and wife have a disengagement or acts that prove to be combative. You will know when both has really repented. Her ways will change and his ways. He will do her even better. He will try and express his love for her, and she will do the same thing. There's no one-sided face. You can tell when someone has repented, when they are sorrowful.
Hallelujah.
Let us get to that point where we are so sorrowful, we don't do it again. Don't continue falling into the same traps of sin and doing the same things over and over and over again. You don't have to, nation.
Hallelujah.
You don't have to. He has given us strength, power, and deliverance through Yahshua HaMashiach.
Hallelujah.
He said, but she, this is what a whore does. But she returned not. And then he talks about her bagod, her deceitful, unfaithful, her treacherous sister, Yehuda, saw it. Look, and I saw that for all the reason which the backsliding YisraYah'ale, she committed adultery. Na'af. Na'af is not just in the physical form of an application, but they began to commit idolatry. They began to establish their idols and buy and put the idols in their homes, and they defied Yah. Anytime you let a rule of your mind or a rule of your thought defy Torah, that is an idolatrous mind. YisraYah'ale. Not that you got some picture or something you fall down. It's when you fall down and surrender you to your own mind that you know that it defies Torah. You know that Torah is right, and you take on the concept of your mind and you follow that. That's idolatrous. You see, that's what Nahas brought in. Yes. I'm equal with you, the Most High. I'm a God. I am a God. So there is nothing you can tell me. That is idolatry. You began to you began to worship you. You began to think you're big. Those that in certain communities, they think they're above the law. I don't care what the law says. Until they come down for real on them. And they lock them away for all of their lives. And they realize, I'm not above the law. We're not above the Torah of Yah. We're not above the instructions of Yah. We're not above that nation. And because of his kindness, his chesed, he doesn't just kill us. He gives us chance to make teshuvah. He says to YisraYah'ale, change your nasty ways. When Yehuda saw it, she marveled at the dirtiness of her own kind. You keep your secret, I keep mine. You know what you're doing, I know what you're doing. Now you know what I'm doing. I've been doing that for a long time, you see, folks. Come on, girlfriend. Nobody is going to know but us. No, everybody's going to know. It doesn't happen the way you think it does. And that's a fact. Look at what he says here. Yah says in verse 8, and I saw that for all the reasons which backsliding YisraYah'ale, she had committed this idolatrous worship. I had put her away. I divorced her. I know there are those say you can't divorce. That's a lie. Well, why did he marry us? Or he divorced her. Once you divorce a wife, you can't go back to her. But he had a price that would pay the price and take upon all of her sins. His name is YHWH HaMashiach. That's what it is. And so an old man had died, that Nahash spirit, Yahshua came to destroy that. So Nahash, her husband that she loved, this idolatrous spirit had died. And then if a man marries a woman, divorce her, and the woman's husband dies and his wife dies, he can go back and marry her. He can't. And so she was married to Nahash. From the day of the Garden of Eve, she took upon herself a husband. She defied Yah. And that gave birth to Nahash. It gave birth to that serpent. It gave life in them of the nature of the serpent. One that defies Yah, one that has disdain, one that hates, one that Yah's despicable. That's what it is.
Yes.
And so when Yahshua came, she had no husband. Everybody had kicked her out, and her strength was lost. It was dead. I'll teach that one day. You'll understand it. All right? Hallelujah.
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 And given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Yehuda didn't even fear. Fear not. And she wouldn't play the same whore also. Families, they all fall under the same kind of subjection and rule. You got 8 brothers, they're all drunkards, liars and thieves, in and out of prison. You got 8 women, they all got babies from everywhere by every kind of man. You go by the house, there's a jungle in front. No discipline, they're wild, they're crazy, they look nasty. I don't care if they're as white as that blouse the daughter got on, or they're black as tar. It makes no difference. It's amazing how the world wants to say that people of my hue are the ones that Chinese people kill Chinese. I was looking at data the other day. Well, Chinese people don't kill as much as these people or these. That's a lie. There's no nation that kill people like China. They do about 2,000 deaths a year in the way of the death penalty. And they don't waste their time with no chair. They drop a bullet in their heads. They don't even share the data with a wicked country like this. No more than the cities put all their data into the FBI or the government database. They don't want nobody to know that their city's wild. And they want to keep that pristine type of look. It's a lie. Yehuda did not even fear Yah, but she went and played the whore also. And it came to pass through the likeness of her whoredom until the excessiveness. That word likeness or lightness, it is the same word all through much of her frivolity, her folly. It is kol. Through all of her wickedness and her frivolity and the excess of her whoredom. She was not even a dog. She was not even a monkey dog. She was not even a wild dog that another dog will live. She was beyond that. And that's the way YisraYah'ale is. Every kind of disease in their mind. Chlamydia, gangrene, syphilis, every kind of disease. Is there? Every kind of religious cancer and every kind. They do, quote, worship these men, unquote. That's why women that are gullible fall to the seduction. That's why they give in, because he is their God now. And that's a fact. It happens all the time. And they fall prey. And even without a will to do it, they fall prey to that nahash and that seduction by these dogs for hell. She has defiled the land. and committed adulteress. And adulteress and an evil generation seeks after sign. She has defiled Haneth. She has polluted and corrupted the whole land, and committed adultery with stones, with ebon, and stuck or ate with trees. She has developed her own idols. She has birth from those idols that she loved. She had her carvings, her stones, her Mother Teresa's, and her angels. What I'm saying, I'm utilizing that to show you how she has built these images in her mind. And that's what we have done. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You have built this delusion of an image, yet you committed a kind of whoredom. Sin there is. There's no repentance in them. They have more, even those two beautiful superlatives. Their lies and their corrupt ways, their evil ways. They're raping your daughters, and your daughters are being raped. They don't give a damn about marrying them. It is not even a marriage. And don't tell me that Yosef and Miriam, I got a powerful teaching on that. I have the energy to teach it, but I want to teach it at the right time.
Yeah.
He wanted to put her away privately. He had one wife. And these dogs call them wives, they're not wives. These are lustful, evil, sadistic little boys who have never experienced the beauty of love. They don't even know what romance is. They have no idea.
Yes.
They have no concept. Daughter, you have a man that's a husband that loves you. He's faithful. Love him.
Hallelujah.
Love him.
Yes,
Don't be a fool. Don't think you're going to find something better.
Yeah.
Don't be a fool. Don't think that someone else is going to want you. All right? Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool, daughters. You love him. You care for him greatly.
Yes.
Learn to do that. He will love you.
Hallelujah.
You got to learn to do it.
Yes.
You can't be stubborn with that witchcraft. I love you, daughters. That's why I'm telling you this, all right? Love your husband, learn to love him. And he'll learn to love you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
She has had this relationship. She has birthed babies or spirits in her mind from stones that cannot even cry out. I can go out there and bust all them that nice bitch out there. I can bust it up with a sled. I got a sled that would knock a hole in on them. There's nothing they can do, I say. Those lions out front, I can go and saw their heads off. There's nothing. But she has this affection that she looks after her gods and those things that are diametrically opposed to Yah. What is that implying? Those things that you care about so greatly. You know that Yah says, I don't like it. And you care more for those things than that's evil.
Yes.
That is violent. You have given credence unto your gods, and you are less than a whore. And that's a fact. I don't care if it's your children. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy. You let nothing come before the Most High.
Hallelujah.
And God knows that I love my wife greatly, but I will never let her deter me or make me speak something to satisfy her and her evil ways. I've never done it. I never will. I rebuke her.
Hallelujah.
And if she gets too far, I have to rebuke her right here before all.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
Then he goes on to say, the prophet, in verse 10, and yet, for all this, her treacherous, look what he calls her, her treacherous sister Yahuda has not turned to me. So don't tell me if the heavens open. If you're looking for a sign this adulterous nature, you're not going to cry, Yah save me. Yah says her adulterous sister, this broken house because of their sins. She has not even even given me any kind of attention. You're not going to give any attention. You know why? Because you're trying to save your flesh. I don't want to save my flesh. I'm going to get older and wrinkled. My body's not going to function like it did when I was 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. When I get 75. That's just a fact. I don't have no compunction with that. None. None whatsoever. She didn't even turn to Yah. This stupid Jezebel Yahudah, and these in America will tell you, we're the tribe of Yahudah. They haven't turned to Yah. This is where Yahudah is, in America. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
Hallelujah.
How did they determine that? Because of the definitive of Ruban, the Holy Son? Because of God, He's the truth? How do you determine that? We don't believe in no DNA. I'll tell you what. Let them arrest your son or daughter for what they call capital murder. There's a difference between capital murder, first degree, second degree, and homicide. But that doesn't mean that the penalty, if it's a homicide, is no different than capital murder. It's just that capital murder is difficult to prove, not just prove, but to convince a jury of 12 to say kill it, or kill her. It's just difficult. And that is what we're committing. There's no one that's going to rescue you but Him. No one. Yahudah didn't even turn to Him. She went and did her own whole thing. That's what Nahash does. Makes you think you're right. Because if you're arrogant and pride, and you deceive your own self. And she didn't even not turn to me with a whole heart, but faintly. You understand what faintly is? Can I express? I know all of you know. But the Torah calls the word faintly. It is spelled, it is shekha. She with her little deceitful lies. You're nothing but a liar. That's what faintly means. Someone asks you to do something. Okay, I get. You know, you do it faintly.
Yes.
It's not a genuineness to it. And that's what she did to Yah. Yeah, I'm going to repent. I love you, Yah. And you know, or you're not going to repent. That Nahash spirit that is in the vastness or the vast of the people today is not going to turn back to Yah because they're self-righteous according to the flesh.
Yes.
They're self-righteous. We got to keep the laws, the commandments, and the statutes of God, and they're not keeping one thing. They will steal their friends, girlfriends as they call them, their wives. But of course they get shack together and that's their wife. This dog out in Tennessee, that's what he's doing. He's a dog.
Hallelujah.
And I will debate any of them. And you all ought to rejoice that there's one that will stand with the sword of God, kill these coward dogs. He's a dirty, damn dog.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Then this is what Yah says. And Yahweh said to me, the backsliding YisraYah'ale has justified herself more than the treacherous Yahudah. He said, those are dogs. But YisraYah'ale, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. They justified their sin, their corruption, their blatant defiance of Torah. And they're going to tell you, well, if you do that, would they just marry you? You know, that's some bogus bull.
Yes.
You think they're taking care of them? They're not. That's evil. It's beyond evil. It's sadistically evil and violent against Yah. You can't justify it. Period. And you think with that mind, Yah sending a sign, you'll just, as the old song would say, hold on to his hand. He doesn't change.
Hallelujah.
You hold truth and embrace truth and let it just hug you and keep you. I don't care if everybody turned against you, even me. You hold on to what you've learned because it is the truth. And you may despise me, but go back and listen. I was traveling the road the other day, and I'm not lying to you. I listened to a teaching I preached 10 years. I know 10 years ago I could tell by the grammar, the form, and even I was convicted. And I'm not telling you a lie. This man is telling the truth. I was convicted of my own corrupt, evil ways. He did not even spare me. Backslider, one that is treacherous. There is nothing more powerful than Mirma, one that is deceitful and treacherous and a liar, faintly, full of lies. I'm telling all of you, you better stop practicing lies. Tell the truth all the time. Don't add nothing to it. There's nothing like adding something to a recipe and you're going to go over a little bit. It destroys the integrity. There are things that got to be measured precisely and right.
Hallelujah.
You have to measure yourself precisely and right. And so you don't go overboard. Well, let me just put just a little more in there. And everybody tell you, Mama, that don't taste like the last one. And then you're reminded, I shouldn't have put that. I put an extra little bit of vanilla flavor because I like vanilla, but it destroyed the harmony with all the other ingredients. That's what it does. Because you think it'll be better, that doesn't mean it's going to be better. I love me some cayenne pepper. I put it on everything from popcorn, you name it, I put cayenne pepper. Then I found these African spices. They're crazy. I love them. And I sprinkle that on, I will sprinkle that on ice cream. Is that, I'm serious, son. It's right. I put it on everything. And it almost looked like snowflakes. It just, I got white pepper. And white pepper is hotter than black pepper. Don't let nobody get you. It's hot. I put cayenne, I put white, I put my North African spices, and and it almost looked like a crusty layer of the cake. I don't like to mix it in. I like to just go straight down each time and just eat it. The other night it had me blowing and whistling because it was just too hot. I don't like it like that. We have to have the right ingredients. There is no sign. There is no microchip. There's none. Well, they put it in your food, you're going to pass it out. You're done. From your concept, it's going to take an injection. The Hajj did not come by an injection. YisraYah'ale, the Horam, they come in, they didn't inject anything into them. It was in the Hajj, that mind that defies every concept of Torah. How can these lying devils say his name is Jesus, they call him God, and they take the name of Yah in vain? They're not going to be guiltless. They are dirty liars. This concept of lies taught to us since we were born. This series is a wicked lie. You say, Nick the fat devil. That big devil, the demon, he gives unto those, and yet, if you've been naughty and nice, well, then there's no house in America that's going to get anything. And this big demon, you bow the lies. I had one to ask me, what can we still do without telling them about Santa Claus? I said, well, your Jesus is a lie too. He's a devil. That doesn't add any kind of condiment to the name of Yah. We come to the knowledge of the truth, we obey. I didn't know about keeping the Shabbat. And this damn devil down here did not convince me of keeping the Shabbat. If there's one thing I hate out of laws was that binder that I had began one day, my brother. I began, and I would go down to the office of that tabernacle, and I would sit there for hours. I had my concordance, my dictionary, my Bible dictionary, and then my Torah dictionary, and then I would write it down. That devil did not, because he even said, well, you know, we keep the Shabbat, but you know, if I send someone here, you don't tell them don't keep the Shabbat. It was her when she came to me. It was her. I was going to do it anyway, but that solidified it.
Yeah.
I know exactly the word she said. I can take you back to where we were standing. And her words were simple and genuine and pure. Pastor Robinson, we going to start keeping the Shabbat? I said, sure we will. Next week. And that's how that happened. That bastard, he did not. I had put the labor in. I knew that's what he did. I still invited him to come. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I want to show you how this evil of the Hajj is developed. Quickly to Bereshit, Genesis, in chapter 2. I just want to read one verse there, and then Genesis 3. Let me read this in Bereshit 2 and 9. And out of the ground made Yahweh to grow every tree, every nation, every people. We all came from the dust of the earth. This is an application that deals more than just with the ground of the earth in the sense that we see the earth. Came every tree. The Torah used the word Ezra or Ezat. That's what he used for the word tree. And it makes nation of the trees of Lebanon the strong. It implies the same thing. So Yahweh made every tree to grow out of every tree that is hamad, that is pleasurable. That every tree that was pleasurable, he made it in the sight of man for food. Also he put forth the tree of life, also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of tough and evil, Ra'ah, this wicked, evil conscience that says, I don't need Yahweh, find him. You can't even discern and know when you're wrong, and you don't even have the power to acknowledge you're wrong. That's evil. I'm wrong about everything. I'm never right. I'm never right. This is right. This is right, that every time I sit here, it convinces me, condemns me, and show me how wicked and how unvaluable I am. It's only because Yah sees the dumb of your shoe. And if I got to return every second of the day to that dumb, I will. I will. I will. So there were Yahshua there in the midst. And there was this tree of Tav and Ra, evil that superseded the very nature and the value of what Yah is. And so that thing began to rise up in them both. It did. It was her sin first, when he followed right behind, all right?
Yeah.
Don't give me that. Hallelujah. I know what the Torah says, all right? And in Bereshit, chapter 3, verse 5, this is what Nachash says. This is what their mind, see, whatever your mind says, someone says something to you, and you never said, I was thinking the same thing. You never said that?
Yes.
I had the same thing in my mind. I know this is right. I know this is true. You never, I have.
Yes.
Man, I was thinking the same exactly. And that's what she said when he said this. He says, for Yahweh does know that in the days you eat thereof, you are yet. You will have a mental facility and spiritual that will facilitate you beyond your ability to even grasp. The level of your intelligence, this world thinks it's smart, doesn't it?
Yes.
It is so evil they can build some bombs. I was looking the other day at that F-22 Raptor. That thing will do Mach 4, but you understand what Mach 1 is? If it flew over, you wouldn't even know it flew over. All you hear is a noise, roaring like a lion. Mach 1 is 740 miles an hour. You can't see that. That's all you will hear. That's the Raptor, not the F-22 now. The F-22 Raptor. But he kicks the Mach 2. That's 14, nearly 1,500 miles an hour. You don't hear nothing. All you hear is the sonic boom. It's going, all you hear is the after effects of it. Boom. Mach 3 puts it over 2,100 plus miles, and they can find that thing. You don't even see it. But there are missiles that can find it. That's all you would hear if it flew over at that fast speed. I see the F-22 at times come over. I like to fly. Man, when I would hear one, I would run outside, I want to see that. And they will fly slower. They will not be as much over these tree lines. They were coming from the Shaw Air Force Base right down there. And that's the truth. Back in the days, they did it quite frequently. Almost once or every other week, you would hear them eyeballs, and you would see a kind of, I haven't seen them like I used to. And it's a killer. It kills. It's meant to kill. It's meant to set 5, 6, 7 miles in the heavens, and you don't even know it. Little plane that small carries about 3-4 tons of missiles. Kill you. Will kill you. That's what this Nachash is. That's what develops that. And so when the enemy said, Yah does know that in the day you eat thereof, you're going to have such superb mental ability and spiritual lung. Your faculties are going to exceed everyone that's around you. Shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing tough and even ungodly. Yah didn't call them that they were gods, but they have become as one of us. They have supplanted the Torah of truth and life with their own concept of what is true and what is false. That's what we're guilty of. We can see the times. I know it says that, but we can see what convinced me of my sins, and we will fight against that. That's evil. Well, you don't do it, husband. You tell me I need to do this. You aren't doing it. No, see. When the woman sinned, when she gave birth, that's what, when she gave birth. And when she and Adam cooperated, in the sense, he did the same thing. They brought life to that nature. And everyone is born with that in them. It's evil, it's nasty, it's violent. And it doesn't care. You don't have to teach a child not to share, they just won't share. Give me that, give me mine. Come on, nation.
True.
You have to teach them to share.
Hallelujah.
You don't have to teach them not to be, you don't have to teach them to be mean. They would, it's not, they would just be mean. You got to teach them, don't be mean now. And that's just a fact. And I don't care what you say, whether it's yours or anyone else, they can be mean. And you didn't teach them that. And nobody taught them that. That's what Dawid said, in sin that my mother conceived me.
Yes.
And in iniquity I was shapen.
Hallelujah.
Child with his own little fresh mind, that's what we are. We're just nothing but little children. We want to be grown-ups.
Yes, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Even we adults, we're nothing but little children.
Yes.
And I mean the pubertal stage of a child. We act like children. He can't touch me. Stop it. Shut up. Get that off your face now. That's the way I rock. That's a fact. That's just the way I would rock. Especially with boys. Girls, a little soft. I need some help on that. I do. Allow that one. I need some real help on that. Hallelujah. Him, I don't need no help with him. Her, it's a lot different. I will flatten his nose out. Her, I will kiss her hand. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He said you're going to know the difference between Tov and evil. You and we all are guilty. We comprise of what evil is or Tov is in our own sight. She was wrong, he was wrong, they were wrong. But never that I'm wrong. So you would say, well, I know they're Hebrews, but they're stupid, they don't have anything. And the most violent word they call each other, it's crazy. Well, those people on my hill, they're just like crabs. You put them in a barrel, they pull each other down. Well, you tell me Chinese folks don't pull each other down. Mexicans don't kill each other, pull each other down. You tell me white folks don't do that. You tell me that the Brits don't do that. I was in Europe almost 2 years. Germany. So don't give me that bull. Don't give me that. You tell me a white boy rapper wanted to get up and his buddy become the star. You tell me he doesn't want, you do all he can to bring him down. Just like a black boy or a brown boy or a Filipino boy or China boy. It's stupid. The way that people have identified a people that look like me. I heard a man say that the other day. I would never listen to a man like that. I just turn him off. I don't want to listen to that. Hallelujah. To make himself look better in a crowd of people. I won't about that. Yeah. Quickly, YisraYah'ale. I want to show something. Yochanan, John chapter 2 verse 17. Hallelujah. Yeah. John 2:17. This is YHWH when these violent, evil individuals that they call the changers of money. And so when people will come, they will bring a turtle dove or something where they can exchange things for money, so they can pay their offerings and things like that. And they were robbing the people. And YHWH, they had set up shop. And this is what happened. Let me read. This is what transpired. John chapter 2, Yochanan, chapter 2:17. And his Talmudim, remember that it was written, the zealous or the zeal, or that embracing, for the bayat, for your bayat, has given me more courage, eats me up. And that's what YHWH was saying. He said, my love for YisraYah'ale and the house that I've seen that have transpired during this time, he said the love of that has, I'm infatuated by it, I'm overtaken by it. Then answered the Yahudim and said to him, what sign? You want to see something great? Something powerful? What sign will you show us? Seeing that you are doing these great miracles and things. And YHWH says, They didn't even understand. And he said to them, destroy the Naos. Well, it says the temple. Destroy it. And in 3 days I will raise it up. They had no concept of what he was saying. No idea. You're going to raise this building up that I found. Yahshua was letting them know, I got a zeal that is greater than you all for being at YisraYah'ale. Because I am the Bey at the house that all YisraYah'ale is going to gather in. Yahudah, they must come to this house. They must come through this door. I am the door to his house. They must come by me and through me. We must come that way. There's no other way. It's not in Jesus' name. It's not on your son workshop. We must call SHABBAT. Must keep a great day. The only two great signs. The sun because it shined. It is shine through the darkness of night. It can be pitch black out there. Y'all says if the sun shined, it will shine. And I don't care how dark our circumstances are. Let them give. We're going to either give you a chip or kill you. Here, give it here. Put it right there. Now! For him I live and I die for him. But I know this is bogus bull what they're sending out because it's too much entertainment and the people like that. And they got some kind of raffle. We're going to give it. And they don't even give a knickers worth of holes, urine, piss about each other. There are all kinds of communities in America. They got ecological communities where people come together. Nobody owns anything. They all work. And they work a different job. They build. I mean, they don't look this nice though. The women get out there, they build their own houses out of straw, and they put clay, they make their own clay, they use that, and they're nice looking houses too. Some they don't have no animals, they just all vegetarian. There are hundreds of communities. But not one like this one. Not another one. And that's a fact. So you think this is the first concept of community? It's crazy. It's crazy. And no man in my era has been the pioneer of anything when it comes to communal construct. Soul City was in the 60s. And I remember my first time seeing Soul City off I-85, they just had the wrong concept. They were building a city. Nice little simple houses. Not like the one Zachim lives in and the one next door. They weren't big houses. But then the selfish factor entered in. And they did not know how to take their resources. Take them out of the banks. Construct your own little credit union. Put all your money there. And someone that is trustworthy that will not steal from you. Put them over it. Mugabe did that when he took control of Uganda from the British. And he will kill those that stole and owned them. I know what kind of picture. It's painted of Mugabe. I know what kind of picture. Is it cold? Okay. Yeah, turn that thing off. Turn them off. You turn them all off. I know what kind of pictures painted of Mugabe. Mugabe got in trouble when he said something about how the Jewish influence and the Jewish. That's when the whole war came against Mugabe. Mugabe said something that was powerful. He said, you my ministers of defense, all of you. He said, if you steal and do the people wrong. Now this man was a Muslim. He had 2 or 3 wives. He said, I will kill you. And he would. He was about 6'5", 6'6". He could run the 100 yards in 9'9". He was a big black man. He was. He said, and we're going to give everything in this country. The hospitality, the running of hotels, and the events. We're going to let the women do that. Because they're much kinder, and much more gentler, and they can intrigue the people. That's what he says. Wow, look at this man. And so there are things that God made the daughters to do. He made you for certain things. You can alter that by your false ways, but he made you for things like that.
Hallelujah.
He made, there's not, I will get back to the daughter, the beautiful, the Chayil woman of YisraYah'ale and her husband. I will get back to that. There's nothing like a beautiful wife. When she's strong, when she's Chayil, when she's virtuous, there's nothing. She brings health and wealth. She brings a multitude.
Yes.
She adds things to his life. That's what she does.
Hallelujah.
That's what she does. There ain't nothing like one that thinks she owns everything and she got it. I will crack that. No doubt about that.
Hallelujah.
Don't play with me. That's a fact. Well, you're saying that in here, but you know you're free. No. If I was a liar, she would let it be known. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeshua said, I will raise up this body. And what he's going to do, YisraYah'ale, are we the body of Yeshua?
Hallelujah.
If we all go down to the gates of hell, he's going to raise us up again.
Hallelujah.
I don't need no sign. For me to live as Yeshua, for me to die as
Hallelujah.
So kill me. No, you're not coming in here with guns and start blasting. Not here now. This is not the Ruth. You coming down the Charleston. You're not going to come here and do that.
Hallelujah.
I'm telling you that now. You'll be well advised not to do that.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Your own detriment. That's a fact.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Now, we're not going to lay down. What I'm saying, but if he takes it all out, and we're there at the doors of hell, he's going to rescue us.
Bless
Don't
you.
worry.
Yeah.
I don't need a sign, Yeshua.
Hallelujah.
I need nothing. Your Shabbat that reminds me every Shabbat to keep the Shabbat.
Hallelujah.
And I can look up in the morning, there's nothing sweeter than the sun that we see when it rises.
Hallelujah.
There's nothing more precious than the light and the sweetness of the sun. I don't care if it's cold, you see the sun, it's still beautiful. I don't care how cold it is. Folks live in frigid temperature in Alaska and everywhere, but they can see the sun. And when that sun shines, it makes the day even great. I don't care how cold it is. And there's nothing like the Shabbat. Nothing. Nothing.
Hallelujah.
Nothing like his Shabbat. 2 great signs he's given me. That's enough. That's enough. I don't need no spaceships because if I saw that, I know that Yah is false. I know that. He doesn't need a spaceship to rapture me.
Hallelujah.
That's the level of your stupidity you think is going to come that way. Let me move quickly. In the same chapter, go to Yochanan 6 John. Yochanan 6 John 6. I want to show you what we got to do. The work that all of us got to do, all right?
Hallelujah.
Not any exceptions at all. John 6:28. That's why we don't need a sign right here. Then said they to Yeshua, John 6:28, what shall we do that we may do or might do the mitzvah, the works of Yah? Yeshua answered. He answered and said unto them, this is the work of Yah, that you pistuo, that you believe. So you got to believe. You got to give him credit.
Hallelujah.
You got to know it's him. You got to have confidence in what he has said. And you must be persuaded. Come hell or high water, you must be persuaded. He said, this is the work of Yah. There's a comma, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the work of Yah, comma, profound, standalone statement, that you believe on him who sent me. You must believe in Yah.
Hallelujah.
You must know that he sent Yeshua. I don't need a sign. I got confidence that he sent him. Although as fragile, as weak as I am, I believe, I still believe. And I die believing. That's afterward we must believe on him that sent YHWH. I don't believe on that. I don't need a sign. None whatsoever. And they said to him, they said therefore to him, what sign? What Simeon? What great thing that we can look forward to? What sign will you show us that we may see and believe you? See, these devils are not going to believe. He can send every kind of sign and everything. They'll be popping their wine bottles and whiskey bottles and their beer all getting drunk and having the last bit of their physical performance. It's not even that. We must believe on him. I don't need a sign, y'all. These devils don't want to get caught in their sin, but they're going to be caught. When he comes, let me tell you all what you are now, what you is now. You want to be that way when he comes? What mitzvot or mitzvah do you perform? Show us a sign. And if we see, we'll believe. No, you won't. Nahash will not let you believe. I'll prove that out in Torah, all right? I'm going to prove it. He says, Moshe gave you not the bread of the heavens. He didn't give you that. You ate, but it wasn't Moshe that gave you that. Yeah. He said, but my Abba gives you the true bread from the shrine. You eat this bread, you're not going to die. That was just bread. But this is the bread of life. I am the lecture. You eat the truth, you eat the word of Yah, you believe on him that sent YHWH. You don't need no sign. They can do whatever they want to. You won't be fearful. Now, I'm not fearful. I know it's going to all end. Life itself is going to end. Yes. And these devils are always changing things. True. They always. Well, why he hasn't come? You don't hear them on YouTube or nowhere talking about that. You don't hear the lies. No. Nobody's talking about it. They don't want YHWH to come. They live too fat. True. Townhouses, they eat at the steak houses and all that. They don't want that to happen. Not at all. Hallelujah. 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 They don't want him to come. This is how Yah knows us. He knows the spirit of Nahash. That's why there will be no sign given. He has given us many signs. We still don't believe. We don't love him. Yes. You know, it's almost, I've heard those by just passing, how that mothers have given birth to a child, and it was such devastation of pain and all that. And she loved that child and she cared for that child. And all of a sudden the child just turned against mother. And she never seen the child again. Didn't know if he was dead. But she still had that inspiration, admiration of that child. A child has to be yours to be inspired in the physical form and to love them. It doesn't have to. If you just love, you will love the children of YisraYah'ale. I don't care who you are. They will know your love. They will feel it. Listen to me. They will know that. Yah is love. And you will know his love. You got that pure chava in you. You will know. I don't care who it is. Even a fool will know it. And that's just a fact. Hallelujah. That's why, what was that story that the unshackled? Things like that make me cry when I hear that at night. I'm lying in bed in the pillow. And that she lost her child. She was a drunkard. She tried to get it back. What was her name? Yeah. I don't like listening to those stories. Although I like the element. And someone convinced her that there's so many children back in the hills of Kentucky. Yes. And she goes back. She dies there. But they loved her. Yes. Come on, people.
Hallelujah.
We're a sick breed of people, all of us. We're sick. Can I read this? Can I? Go to Bimidbar, Numbers quickly. Oh my. I'm going to try to finish. Just so much. Numbers 14. It's one thing you must understand. YisraYah'ale, listen people, they have never been impressed by signs. They have never. You see the hand of Yah, people in pursuit of you. You come through dry shod. You come through the Great Nile with no shoe. You know no fish in your shoes, your sandals and nothing. And see him wipe out the greatest of the Hajj. You will say, I will believe him. I don't care what happened. Well, you know they didn't believe him. We don't believe because of sign. Look at this people by Numbers 14:11. And Yah says to Moshe, he's talking to him, how long will this people, Na'ats, how long will this people provoke me? How long will we provoke Yah? How long, Na'ats, how long will we despise him and hate him? That's what Na'ats is. How long will this people, he says, provoke me? And how long will it be until they believe? Until they believe. This is the work of Yah, that we believe on him.
Hallelujah.
That has sent YHWH HaMashiach.
Yeah.
You see, the word will balance it. There is no, you can't just draw something from what you read. You got to understand the dynamics from the Bereshit to the end. And then he says, they won't believe on me. For all the signs, all these mighty signs, I've shown them, which I've shown among them. They still don't believe me. You think signs are going to make someone believe? Man get raised from his chair tonight, from a wheelchair. He may say, thank his Jesus, thank you Lord Jesus, but he's going to rock after that. Turn the music on. He's going to jam. Boy, these old bones been sober. I'm going to make them right tonight. He's going to get drunk. She's going to get up. She's not trying to refine herself to become attractive to Yah. She's going to paint herself up. I want to go to the baby. I haven't been to the club. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I'm healed. And that's just a fact. All the signs I've done, and they still don't believe. No sign is going to make you believe. No sign is going to make you believe. I know what the liars are telling you. You buy that. You support them too because you like that honey dripping lies, but it's damnation to you. That's the fact of the matter. It's going to damn you in the gutters of hell. All those miracles, he was faithful. All the signs. And then the devil raised up a Benny Hinn. Hasn't healed nobody.
True.
A dirty damn dog like Oral Roberts.
Yes.
No organic healing. Started his own university. And he built his own medical hospital as well. His son Richard was a dirty dog. And his dirty wife, the hoe, was a dirty dog. But they marvel at these devils. They love them. But they don't love a true messenger of Yah. They don't love one that is honest and tell them the truth. Neither do you. People don't love Yah, and they certainly don't love his messenger. There's something that they see for the moment they're attracted to. But as they listen, they say, oh, he's playing around in my honey hole. They don't like that. Yah says, all that I've done, they still don't believe.
Hallelujah.
These are the works of the mitzvot of Yah, that we believe on him.
Yes.
Because he has said this.
Yes.
This living Torah. The Torah of Moshe was just words and duties. Same duties, same words.
Yes.
But it's just a living Torah. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Hallelujah.
Nobody has to make us remember the Shabbat. It's innate with us. It's a part of our growth. And as we regard the Shabbat, the more we want to keep and honor Yah Shabbat. Well, those folks there, they were the elect of Yah, according to the promise of after the flesh. Well, I'm a mighty man. I believe you're a liar. I want to show you an example here. Quickly, please. Go quickly to Shoftim, Judges. We're going to deal with Gidon, Judges chapter 6. And let me begin in verse 12 because of expedience. It says in Judges 12:6, and the Melech or the messenger of Yah, he appeared unto Gidon and said to him, Yah is with you. You would think, people say, baby, I'm with you, come hell or high water. But brother, I'm with you no matter what. But Yah sends a messenger out of the heavens and say to Gidon, Yah is with you. He calls him a Gibor, not a Geber, not just any kind of warrior, but one that had a special qualifier. You have an intense power. You're strong beyond one's conception of a mighty warrior. He called him a mighty warrior. Not only that, but you're full of high yield. You're full of valor. You got the strength of truth. You love truth. This is Yah's elect messenger.
Yeah.
And Gidon said to him, O my sovereign. He used the term if. He used the word if. Not ima, but if. He says if. He used that. In essence, there's a condition. If I'm his elect, then he's got to prove himself. That's why words are quite important, just that little two-letter word, if. He says, well, Melech, if, there's a condition now. If Yah be with us, why then is all of this befall us? Why am I going through this? Why is it such great pain and agony that the hosts are encamped about us to even destroy us? Why has this befallen us? And then he asked him, and where be all his miracles, all of his spela, all of the great wonders that surpass any kind of concept of me? They're extraordinary, they're just great. Then where are all of his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, did not Yah bring us up out of Mizraim? But now Yah has forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of Midian, into the hands of those that cause strife. Now this is the one that Yah says, I'm with you. This is the one that Yah sent the Melech to say to him, I'm with you. And then he began to question Yah. Well, I got a problem with, quote, God, because, unquote, my mama died, I ain't got no dealing with him. I've heard them say that. I remember my cousin telling me that, in my ignorance. And she was brought up in the church, like we all. They didn't go, but they sent us. Quarter, when mother had a nice much, you give me 50 cents. I'm not dropping on that. I'm not dropping no 50 cents in there. There ain't no way, not me. I can see 2 for penny cookies, a nickel will get me 10. I can see the penny cookies, the big coconuts, 5 cents will get me 5. I know that's right, Mama. I can see the butternut and all of them. Tootsie Roll. I'm not dropping that. I may drop 10 cents. I'm pulling my change, man. No, man. I had to walk to that place. I'm not dropping all that in there. Not me. And I was elated when I went by myself because, oh, this is mine. You drop a dime in there, you got 40 cents. 40 cents was like, quote, heaven back then, unquote. Taxes were only a penny. Split every dime. Tootsie Roll and the little coconut sticks and the cow tails, I could get the whole gamut. I could. Now, I'm a big old coconut cookie. Big, nice. 1 penny a piece. I'm not dropping no 50 cents piece in that offering tray. And I don't ask no forgiveness either. Not doubt. I will go home as happy and jolly as they came. With that little brown bag with all my cookies. I didn't want no dinner after that. Just give me the cookies. Give me the payday. Baby Ruth bar. You can get all of that for that. And you still wasn't broke. And maybe you stop at the other store and drop the last 10 cents or something because they didn't have what you needed in there. That's just a fact. And anyone in my group of 8, they know what I'm talking about. All right then. No, it's the truth. Okay. Hallelujah. 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 And so in Judges 6:15, and he said to Yah, O my sovereign Yah, wherewith shall I deliver YisraYah'ale? Behold, my family is poor. They are of the tribe of Asaph. They're forgotten, and I'm the least of my father's house. And Yah said to him, surely, not possibility, but surely, verse 16, Judges 6:16, surely I will be with you, and you shall smite those of Midian, not as 2 men, as 1 man. Because the man that's there, YHWH, you're going to smite them as 1 man. As 1 man. And he said to him, if now I found favor in your sight, isn't that amazing? Show me a sign. I need a sign, Yah. I need a sign that you talk with me. Drop quickly to verse 36. I want you. Nothing else. I want to get this one today. I'll be finished. Okay. Look what he says in verse 36. He used that word to you, that condition. This is an impossible situation. So he says in Judges 6:36, and Gideon said to Yah, if you will deliver YisraYah'ale by my hand, as you have said. I don't even care in our language as an adjective or even as a conjunction. There's still a condition with the word if. If I had $1 million, I'd buy you a house. If I had $1 million, I would take you all out to dinner. So there's still a condition. Yes. There's still a situation. There's still a hitch to it. So he says to Yah, if you be with me, prove yourself. Yah has proven himself over and over to us. Yeah. He proved it this morning. Yes. Yeah. When he awakened me this morning. Yeah. I went to bed last night, I think about 7:35. I was talking to my friend in the back there. He said, "Son, man, get out of here." I went last night, 7:35. How about that? The night before that, it was about 7:45. So I had to ask him, Raphael, I said, when you came in, what was my condition? I know I didn't lay in bed for, it couldn't have been no more than a minute. And I went out. She said, you made enough noise in the bedroom. I said, okay. All right then. So I went to bed last night at about 7:45. I wouldn't go earlier than that. It was dark or something. It's too early. No, it ain't too early for me. That's what time. But then at 3 a.m. this morning, I know it was time. So 4 hours, I stayed at 3 and get Get up and make me some of my mushroom coffee. And then I get out. Quiet. Then I get out. Feel refreshed. Nice and comfortable. That's where I feel. That's a fact. Give me a sign, y'all, that you talk to me. Judges 6:36. Gideon said, if that conviction, you will deliver YisraYah'ale by my hand, as you have said. Sure, he said it. And Yah is able to do all things.
Hallelujah.
Not capable, but he's able. And then in 37, this is just if implied to Yah. If you be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. That's not what Yah says. If you treat me nice, I treat you nice. That's not what he says. Look what he says in verse 37. He says, behold, tell Yah, I will put a fleece of wool on the floor, and if dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon the earth next to it, then shall I yada. Come on, this is where we all fall. And into one of these categories. I will know that you will deliver YisraYah'ale. Is that so, Yidon? I know you will deliver the people by my hand, as you have said. Then it said, and as it was so, for he rose up early in the morning, and he thrust, as Granny would say, he squares the fleece together. And he wrangled, not wrinkled, he wrangled out the dew out of the fleece. It was a bowl full of water. It was a bowl full of water. You would have thought that that would be enough. He can show us 10,000 signs. It's not going to change anything. And Gideon said to Yah, now this is how self-righteous we are.
Yes.
He said, don't get upset with me. Don't get mad. He said, don't let your chama, your anger, don't, come on now, Yah. And don't get, don't act like that. This is how he's talking. He says, let not your anger be hara, this incense that gets me crazy, burning and furious against me. And I will only speak once more. Let me just test you again. This is the man that Yah has elected. Are we not the body? Yeshua, whom he has elected. We're just like you know. Yah, you may think that I look at this place and I'm not troubled about what has happened during the years. But I know that the hand of Yah is here. I look at the simple things that we do that makes it much more beautiful, aesthetic. I know that. Easy. I understand that. I understand the hard labor of the Achim. And I don't disappoint them. I want to do the same kind of work they do. I said to my friend, I hate seeing you go down here, man. I'm up every morning. I know you used to be early. You kick out here sometime at 4. I don't like that. I hate it. It's all right. It ain't the matter. Don't get mad at me, y'all. He said, but I will speak only now, once more. Let me prove, test. Let me test, I pray you. Let me try you. Let me see if you're real, Yah. Let me test you, I pray you. But this once. Just one more time. That should be the testimony of the dirty whorehouses. Yah said it, that's enough. I believe it, that's enough. Get out of here. You don't have to say it to God. But Gideon said, I know you picked me because I wring out so much water in that bowl, and everything else was dry. Everything was dry. He says this once with the fleece. Let it be dry only upon the fleece, and all around the ground let there be wet, the dew. And Yah did so that night. For it was very dry upon the ground and the feast only. And there was no dew at all. There was no dew at all on the ground. And because Yah says, I'm going to show you, I had identified you get on as a mighty strong man. But you got some fragile nature. You're weak.
Yes.
He said, I tell you what, you think he's going to take that many? He said, I'm going to reduce that. You're going to know it's me.
Hallelujah.
300. I want those, you take them down to the water because they're so frightened. Man, that's a real, got the dog in him. He's going in the water. But that's the terminology, and that was in a certain period of time or segment in this country. Man, even in sports today, he got the dog in him. He's a dog. Man, the way he hit that boy, he knocked him out on that field. He got that dog, he got that real dog in it. I'm not talking about something that is stupid, but it takes a dog, man. She said to me the other day, Poppy, let's get one of those Australian, she didn't tell me what kind, sheepdogs. I said, I like them, but I know about dogs, they're a little rough. They won't be kind with the children because they will actually protect those dogs. I've been looking at dogs. I look at all kinds of dogs. Pyrenees, all of them. I like the Rottweiler. If I was to get a dog, it would be a Rottweiler. Something that represents me. I like the Rottie boy. That's my dog. I don't want nothing but him. I don't want no shepherd. Give me the Rottweiler. I will bust his head too. I said, baby girl, I said, those sheepdog, they're very, very protective. And they will do humans like that. They will corral you like nobody, no. You're not getting close to her. So the ones that play with them, they won't let nobody get close to you. Mama come out there, and they're tough. They're tough. Take down a coyote. They'll go after wolf. They're tough dogs. You don't want that one. The Rottweiler is a little different. So I told her the story about the Rottweiler. I had to beat his head in. And I said I didn't feed him for a week. That was old Danny and Alpha. They were children, like young. Danny was about his size. A little younger than that. He fed, I put the feet on my back where my little office is. And the Rottweiler got crazy. You shouldn't have did that. I'm not going to have you doing that. I had some chain with the links, but like, you know what I'm talking about. He wasn't kind of loose. I hooked it on him. Isn't that? That's right. I don't love dogs. I want to abuse animals. And I hooked him up to that old pine tree right there. His granny was right there. I got me a piece of, it was bigger than a two by two, but it wasn't quite a 2x4. It was solid, about that long. And I got up on him. His cheek teeth, man, if he'd have grabbed me, he would have hurt me. And I tried to beat his head in. I beat him. But you can't go nowhere. And I wrestled him, I beat him some more. And I beat him again. And I beat him. And I beat him. I said I didn't feed him for a week. I left him right there. And as the days went by, I go out and stand by and look at him. He was sorry. I like that. That's what I did. I tried to beat his head in. I wasn't going to kill him. And by the 5th day, he was real. And then I scratched his head. He was so sweet that the youngest could get on him and ride him. He wasn't barking no more. Because I tried to break. You had to break that out of him. It's a sheepdog. They're a lot different. You got the sheep watcher here. I got the coyotes and the wolves. I got it, all right? She let her know that she had told her the story. See, that she want to hear this. Children do that. I want to move on quickly.
Hallelujah.
So y'all reduced Gideon's. He said, it's going to be me. It's not, you're not going to have anything to boast in. I'm taking this. Just give me 300. And we're gonna get the job done. All right. That's right. Beautiful thing. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Quickly, let's go to Romans. This is what these men today are not confirming anything their works. Romans chapter 15, 17. Believe me, you can be foolish and travel the breadth of America looking for healing. It's not going to happen. Do I believe he heals? Sure. You sitting right there in your house, say, yeah, you know, I need to walk. Yes. And he'll pick you up. Hallelujah. These men are not, they're those that just read a list and they're casting out demons. And that old fat, I got to find him. What's his name? And those that sat under him or went to see him, they do it the same way he did. That man he was every bit that big. He couldn't even, now I'm sitting here, but I can stand up for 2 hours if I want to. I'm saving my legs to work tomorrow. I can stand up. Nah, I got too much work. I got painting and all that to do. Too much to do. Gardens to get ready, seeds to plant. Over in the greenhouses and things that I know, looking at tractors and hay balers and everything. I got to get the gardens right and all of that. I got to get that all right. We're going to have a special event here in May of this year.
Yes.
We're going to eat nothing but our food. I'm going to cook it. I want it to be nice. Understand? You don't want just an event. I want it to be a nice event. It's going to be nice. Let me read this quickly. Romans 15, 17. YHWH says, I have therefore a cause for boasting through Yeshua, HaMashiach, and those things which pertain to Yah. If there's anyone, he said, that can boast, I can. If there's anyone can stand the test against any of y'all, YHWH said, I can. I can't speak like that, YHWH. He says in verse 18, for I will not dare to speak of any of those things that Yeshua has not done through me. He did it all. It wasn't me. Hallelujah. But I tell you what, he did it through me. To make the Goyim, Gentiles, obedience by the word and deed. He said not only that, but it was through mighty signs. There are no mighty signs. Tell me a mighty sign. Or robbers or Rex Hamba or any of them devils from hell have performed. Tell me one. Tell me please. William Brenham or all them devils. Tell me one. I remember back in the 80s, I believe, when Fred Price, it was the 80s, or early 90s, latter 80s. Rex Hamba, one of them, said he insulted even the people of Fred Price. Look. And he said this is what turned this whole world upside down. Fred Price. He said when the man said to him, one of the most major ministries that were flying from California out to preach at their Tulsa whorehouses and all. He said to Fred Price, but you're not like them. I know you all may have the same color, but you're not like them. And when Fred Price went on that teaching, and I tell you, it's on the internet. There's no man that without all of this kind of media exposure today, you could tell that Fred Price, I've listened to it before. He was a scholar. He brought that thing out to identify the people of Torah, their look, and how they ought. He did it all. And they all cut Fred Price loose. TVN put him on. Everybody in America cut off Fred Price. They call him a radical and all that. They cut him loose. They stopped talking to him. He would be on everything, the TVNs, the Jim Bakers and all. When he did that, There was no salt in them for Fred Price. And I felt sorry for Fred Price. He adopted that son, and the son turned out to be a devil. Married and doing the wicked things he was doing. But Fred Price was bold. And you know, at least that was a man that he had guts. He had guts. And he lost all those people. You got to understand, someone like Fred Price was bringing in $5-6 million a year back then. Can you imagine all that just melt away? Nobody sending you nothing. He brought it out like no scholar could. He did. They had him on every kind of talk show, and Fred Price did not back down. That's some reason you don't hear me dog Fred Price. That's a fact. Fred Price was an intelligent man. Let me finish this. He says in Romans that 15 and 19, through mighty signs, just not any kind of sign, but the semeion, they were authenticated. You knew that no man could do this of his own power. He says through mighty signs and the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, so that from Yerushalayim and round about Ilorichan, I have fully preached the message of YHWH HaMashiach.
Yes.
There ain't no doubt I preach no one but him. The miracles and signs, you knew they were of Yah. And that's why you know it was Yah. I declare to you, you must believe on him whom he has sent.
Hallelujah.
He said, and you know I was mighty. And I don't back down for anyone. Not at all.
Yeah.
I'll finish this one day, but there's something. Let me read this. Romans 4:9. Then I'm going to close here. I'm going to, hallelujah. I hate not to cover the whole episode. Let's go to Thessalonica, and then I'll close. 2 Thessalonica, chapter 2, verse 8. You all get a chance to read the whole chapter of Thessalonica. But this is vitally important for us to understand this. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
What this deception or lying miracles are. These men, they're liars. They're not anything that qualifies that these are miracles. And shall speak to us here in Thessalonica. But let's jump down to the 8th verse. Let me see. To the 7th verse. He talks about the mystery of iniquity that's already worked. And he says, only he who lets it until he be taken out of the way. That's important to understand that. He that is taken out of the way. What that implies. Just hold that in Thessalonica, put the finger there, and go quickly to be Mitzvah, Numbers. This is Balaam here. You understand? He said, until he be taken out of the way. You see what he says right here? The way.
Yeah.
And so there's an impediment to circumvent the powers of hell from doing their mastery. So you have to, in order to understand this, you have to understand this in Numbers 22:23. And with Balaam. And when the eyes saw the melach of Yah standing in the way. See, there's a melach, there's a messenger standing in the way. Bimidbar, Numbers 22:3. Shaul talks about until he be taken out of the way. And there was a melach in Numbers 22:23. And the eyes saw the melach of Yah standing in the way. And he had his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way. He had to go out of the way. And so that one that is holding back the revelation of this foul nature of this dog, it has to be a melach. It has to be Micaiah Elah. The words will identify. There was a melach in the way. And the same with this violent, evil Balaam trying to curse the people of Yah. He said, and he went into the field, and Balaam smote the ass and turned him into the way. See, he was going to defy, and that's what these people are doing today. They're telling you, well, there are going to be signs. Well, there's not going to be any sign for this wicked generation.
Hallelujah.
And that's just a fact. You will not even know if it's a sign anyway. You will not even know the sign.
Yes.
You will not even know. You will not even know. If the heavens won't fire there, you're just not going to make you repent. You're going to run for cover. And that's a fact. He must be taken out of the way. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked, that animals, this Nachash, the wicked one be revealed, whom Master Yahshua will consume with the rock of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And that's what happened to Balaam. Then that wicked one, Balak, they're going to be revealed. Yah's not going to, listen nation, he's going to save his people. And that's it. And the only thing we got to do is believe. You don't need us, just believe. Yes. Just believe on him that has sent the one to believe in. And that's it. He tells us the personality. Even him who's coming is after the working of Hashatan. He's coming with all unclean power and signs and lying wonders. And that's what these devils are doing today. The Benny Hinn's, all of them, the T.D. Jakes, the healers, and praying for their lying wonders. And they're not even wonders, they're liars. And they rob the people. They rob them. They rob them that they are filthy rich. How are they coming? Verse 10. They are coming with all deceit, apartheid, just like the apartheid system of South Africa, them dirty dogs robbing and raping the people of their country, of unrighteousness in those that perish. Why? We got to do this, listen nation, because they receive not the love of the truth. You must let truth reveal what you are. You must love truth when it tells you you're a liar, you're dirty, you're corrupt, you're conniving, you're full of thievery, because we don't receive the love of truth revealing us, that they might be delivered. That's what delivers you. Now, because we don't receive the love of the truth, Yah says this in the next verse. And for this cause, it does utilize the word YHWH says God or Yahweh. Yahweh will send them strong delusions. You tell me the Most High going to send delusions? Because you did not receive the love of the truth, he's going to send strong delusions for a reason, that they should believe a lie. Yes. You all are believing these lies of these liars. And the delusion is coming from Yah. He's going to send them strong delusions that they will believe a lie. For what reason? That they all might be damned. That they all might be damned. You get upset when I say the word damn, but it's spelled the same way. Yes. He's going to damn you wicked ones. Yes. He's going to say damn you all. That they all might be damned. That they all might be damned. Why? Who believe not the truth. This is the work of God, that we believe. Yes. We must believe. When there is no sign, just believe what he is put in you. That which has been ingrained in you all the year. Just believe. That's what you must do. That's what you must do. He said, all those, they're going to be damned who believe not Torah, the truth, but have pleasure in wicked ways that are unrighteous. You must believe. You can't even please him unless you believe. Without Munah, it is impossible to please him. Yes. You must believe. And he's going to send damnation. They're going to be damned into hell. And there are those say there is no hell. Well, I got a teaching. I'm going to teach. I looked and I saw that it was like 2006. I began to put together a message on that. But I got something for you, all right? You don't have to believe it's a hell, all right? Y'all cannot lie. He's going to send delusions. So he's going to send you those spaceships, and he's going to send you the chip and all of that, and get you crazy, and you're going to start, it's amazing that those that the assault against God's people in Ibrahim 13, they dwell in mountains and everywhere, and they were strangers. That's an interesting word to give, the stranger. We have always been strangers. The nation has always been strangers in every part of the world. So we're strangers, we're pilgrims. We have no certain dwelling place until he restored the birthright. We have whored and done every kind of wicked thing. Yes, you have, devil. Hallelujah. And you think you're right. You're not right. Let me close with this. This is how much Yah really truly loves his nation. In Romans 4:19, just a few verses. Romans 4:19. Romans 4:19. He says, don't be weak in Emunah, and being not weak in Emunah, in the faith. He considered not his own body now dead. That's Abraham, the father, Abraham, the father of us all. He did not even consider his body, as we were reminded, I believe, the Shabbat that Zakim preached. And how old was he? He was 99. He was 99, 100 years old. Listen, when he was about 100 years old, it doesn't say he was 100 years old, but he was about that age. He was about 100 years old. Neither yet the deadness of Sarah. He didn't consider that her womb. This is what we cannot do. He staggered. He staggered not. Decarino. He did not stagger. He did not separate himself from that which was spiritual, which had been imparted in him, the truth. He didn't even stagger. We can't stagger. We can't be up and down, sometimes around. He staggered not, sir. He did not oppose Yah. He did not strive to oppose him. He did not try to dispute what Yah says. He did not contend with Yah. He said he did not stagger at the promises of Yah through any, you see that, unbelief. He must believe. Through any unbelief. But was strong in Emunah, giving honor to Yah. And then he was fully persuaded. He was fully plero for evil. He was fully persuaded. In essence, he was fully convinced by the assurance of what Yah said. He was fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was able to put yet. Oh, he was able to do it. That's what we must believe. I'm not looking for no spaceship. You can look all you want to. I'm not looking for no riders on horseback to come rescue me, because YHWH, he was fully persuaded. That's what you must be, fully persuaded. You're not fully persuaded. I'm fully persuaded. So I'm here waiting on him. Hallelujah. That's it. You're going to become disillusioned just like this wicked Christian whorehouse. I'm getting old myself. Well, we got young, stronger ones here that can keep the saddle on the jackass. Get on it when they need to. But I'm fully persuaded. Yah said it, he can perform it. So let's be persuaded. Don't worry about no signs, all right? Read the riches of Yah. Rest upon you all, my friends. The few I have, if I have any out there, I know I got a few. And my enemies as well. I do bless you all. In Yahshua's morning. Let's be encouraged. Be strong. Can I say this before I close? You know, when I wakened this morning, I was reading some news and I didn't even read the article. I just kind of skim. I can speed read to a degree that I can understand things. And how that the 500 richest people in the world, they added $1.2 trillion to their portfolio this year. Mr. Trump said he's bringing the jobs back. They're paying their pennies. But you know that's the wealth of all the people of my youth in America. 500 people. Somewhere there's some evil that is so rooted that they don't give a nickel worth of rat's dung. Bezos, this little silly looking thing. Buffett, the boys. They don't care, they don't love nobody. They added to their portfolios, and Mr. Trump said, we bringing jobs back. These people are so gullible and so stupid, they buy that. There are no jobs in America. When a software engineer in Los Angeles in Silicon Valley makes $175,000 a year. He lives in a truck because he can't afford to live $175,000 a year. Just say he's making $4,000 every week. By the time taxes, city and state taxes, they make calculations. You got a place that's cost you $6,500 a month. There ain't no money. That's a fact. Where they room up together 3 and 4, they work for the Googles and the Microsoft and all of that. He made 100. I'm looking at him. He said, "This is where I live. In this trailer, I got my bed. I belong to the gym. I can go to the gym, take my shower in the morning and the evening." 175,000. They're causing the price of rent. The people on the streets in LA and places like that, cities like New York, whereby the people, come on. Someone got a little place like that, what I got right there. They're happy as a frog on a lily pad. They don't need mosquitoes. Those that were paying $1,000 a month, which was a stretch for them, they're told that your rent has gone to $3,000 a month because they know they can rent it for $5,000 a month. You may make $5,000 a month. You single? No. But when the taxes finish you, there ain't much money. You buy a house $1 million and you're paying $15,000 a month. $15,000. You don't buy $1 million house and get a $700 a month house payment. That's stupid. Don't think that way. You buy a $1.2 million house in LA or New York, and $1 million house in New York is 1,000 square foot. But like what I got before that, I add those rooms. That house is a little over 1,000 square foot now. The little add-ons I built there. And 4 or 5 people living in one house. Where are the jobs, Mr. Trump? Nickel-dime jobs. Whatever the minimum wage is in that city, that's all they're making. And he's dogged the farmers too. One article's captured me. It says, the tariff that Mr. Trump, we're actually losing more jobs. But poor people are ignorant. They say, well, you got to read that document that came out about Mr. Trump. The man said, have you read it? Well, not yet, but I'm going to read it. And that's how ignorant we are. Poor people are ignorant. Poor people are despised by poor people. Rich people don't despise poor people because they don't have to contact them, be in contact with them. Rich man despises another rich man richer than him because of jealousy. If he only has 1,000, if they say he has 1,100,000,000 and you got 1 billion, he's superior to you. That's how empty they are. That's how their lives have no volume of substance. They don't have nothing. Period. And no job. Minimum wage. You can't make it off minimum wage down here. I don't care where you live. Man making $50,000 a year with him, his wife is caboodle. Get out of here. By the time you pay your house payment, and don't you for that kind of a family, you gotta have at least 5 bedrooms. That's tough with 1 bathroom, ain't it? It's just 2 of us. It's still tough, all right. No, the cities, they don't have no 2 and 3 bedroom unless you got $1 million condo penthouse. Don't be crazy. You got enough to step in there and sit down and take your little shower. You can complain all you want to about the heat. No heat. They cut that heat back. They're going to make it around 68 degrees. They know that's a nice temperature in your house. And your toes are freezing at 68 degrees in the weather like that. It's still cold. Most of the country do that. I'm talking about what they call the industrialized world. London and places like that. Man, when I was there, like, come on. They cut all the electricity off. Certain time of night, hotels and all. It was freezing in there, cold and damp.
True.
It was. I'm like, man, this room cost $150 back then. Come on, man. And that's just a fact. So man making $50,000, you know, his wife, they get together with, baby, that house is nice. How much is the house? $218,000. You can't buy a house on somewhere like that unless some of the old neighborhoods, and they still stacking, you know, $100,000. You make it $50,000. You bring it home out of that with the youngest and all that. You still not bringing. You bring $1,000 a week. You still not bringing home $800. It's gonna take one check plus a month just to make the payment, and you ain't got to eat now. Don't talk about eat now. You know you're gonna eat. You gotta feed them youngins. Don't take about the money to feed. Yes, indeed. You gotta feed them youngins. You gotta shop smart. Of course, electric bill, cell phone here or there, water bill. You don't get free water in them cities. Gas bill, light bill due. Papa got a car note due. Got a car note due. Probably two. Got a little fancy. Don't let it break down. You're in trouble. That's reality. You can think that it's not. That's crazy. $50,000 back in my days back then, that was a lot of money. You can't do nothing with $50,000 today. And there are not that many people making $50,000 a year. That's a fact. Genuine fact. Not many people make it. You got some of them industrial trades, you know. But as far as these factory jobs, this place, you gonna make $50 at Burger King? Not a kid. Some secretary. No, you got to be a executive secretary and with a specialty in certain areas and shorthanding and all that. I wasn't born yesterday. Well, I can hustle on my own. You can hustle on your own. You ain't gonna make no money. I don't know what you're saying. And then what's the actor's name? Wesley Snipes. I said, when you don't pay taxes, what happens? They're gonna get you. It's one thing about the government. Just don't lie to it. If you owe them, say, I don't know how much you owe. Don't tell them I don't owe you nothing. Say, I don't know how much. I plead your kindness. If they put Miss Leola Hamsley in jail, you make a nickel dime, 50,000, 60 a year, you're going to jail. She was a billionaire. Her husband at that time owned 124 buildings in New York. They were multi-billionaires. And she just wanted to make an extra 50,000, you greedy dog. She's up $25 million for her cats and stuff. When the old hag of a dog died. And the people that worked for her made them wealthy. You're a sick dog. You all can say what you want to.
True.
She's a sick dog. Sick dog. She left that for cats. I'll take care of cats. I'll build a little cat hotel here for them. Yeah, well, let all the cats come in and play. Let them run free. Just give me 1 million. As I sick people are, that's just a fact. We love each other. Let us stand to our feet. You all do send a gift to assist and help. Help us to keep this kind of teaching on the air. We need this kind of teaching. Turn toward YHWH in all things we do abound. For the excellence of your strength, your power to maintain and keep us. Keep us all, for we're in great need of your keeping power. We have our above. Heal us. Above all men, I need your healing, you to heal me. Yes, heal your people. Heal our Zachin, heal them all in Yahshua's mighty name. And touch us as the old ones will say with your finger of greater power. We will bless you this day and keep always you in remembrance. And this is our prayer in Yahshua's mighty name. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
If my people who are called by my name would just humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven and forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, and we shall be saved. Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, for you are our praise.
Unto those that fear Yahweh's name, Yeshua shall arise with healing in his wings, his wings.
Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, and we shall be saved. Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, for you are our praise. Yahweh is my strength and my soul, and has become my salvation. I will trust in him and will not be afraid. Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, and we shall be saved. Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, and we shall be saved.
Heal us, Yahweh,
And we shall be healed. Save us, Yahweh, and we shall be saved. Restore my health and mend my broken heart. There is a balm in Gilead. There is a balm in Gilead.